let's talk about contractors and getting them to work on your manufactured homes. I'm in one of our homes that we just recently bought, and it's in an area that we do not have a bunch of crews currently. So we're looking to do more business down in this area, as well as also build up our crews down in this area as well. And so the big thing with contractors in our industry is that not all of them would like to work on manufactured homes, just because they're used to making a different dollars per hour. They're doing different quality or type of work. You know, like luxury homes or commercial construction is considerably different. A lot of these guys don't like to diversify that way. Okay. Another thing is manufactured homes, they don't view them as being worthy of their craftsmanship. So in some cases, that's something as well. And also it's not exactly the same as regular site construction. There are definite nuances to manufactured homes and the way that they are built. And some of these guys can get intimidated as they start working on them with some of these different nuances. So one thing just to be aware of is that homes built prior to 76 did not have certain specs. Ones post 76 are what we call post-HUD homes, and they are built to certain standards. And so there's certain standards that they have for certain areas, and building code standards that they need to be constructed to be able to be located in certain areas. And so this is actually a data plate that outlines how this home was constructed, and that it meets some of those specs, details some of the things that were put into it originally. This home's a 1990s era home. Obviously here we have water that has gotten into the home, so we have major subfloor issues in these respective areas. Obviously that needs to be cut out. This is actually particle board. We have particle board throughout the house. It's very common material in manufactured homes. And so what ends up tending to happen is it's kind of like a paper bag. When it gets wet, it affects the structural integrity of the floor. And so regular construction typically has plywood or OSB nowadays for it, if it's a decent quality construction. If it's track housing, maybe not. But so this is the type of flooring that we typically deal with. Therefore, if it gets wet, subfloor repairs are pretty dang common in our industry. It's something we're constantly dealing with. And so having somebody that feels comfortable with that being cut out and knows how to do it correctly is a big thing. Because it can happen from a variety of different locations, be coming in from a variety of different areas on the home too. So if somebody's willing to fix those. The plumbing is a bit different on these homes. This is more of your traditional setup that you have with a manufactured home with that type of valve system there. This is one of the soaking tub types. We typically tear these out because we can't find this size, or we don't want to pay for this size to be put back in. We'll typically put a standard size tub and shower surround in it. And then what we'll need to do is do a new valve and trim kit on it. But what happens is sometimes these walls are only 2x3 wide, and the normal standard application for the valves to sit typically are 2x4 application, or 2x6 even. And so sometimes that can cause some problems from a plumbing standpoint. The other thing that we have with these that can be intimidating for some individuals is the way in which to be able to move over the drain, because the way this was set up, that drain on the normal standard tub is going to be sitting probably here, right? And so it would have to be moved over. Now the problem is you have floor joists, and then underneath that you have actually steel girders. That's the main frame for how this thing's towed down the road, right? And so depending on where that's located, that could either be a simple fix or a very complicated fix to make sure that that is draining correctly, depending on where your basically your sewer pipe, your drain pipe needs to go in order for it to be sloped correctly, okay, and then vented correctly. So sometimes that can be something that's intimidating for people that have never worked on manufactured homes. It's just definitely not your normal typical application. Some of the things that we typically are looking for is somebody that has at least some basic plumbing experience, carpentry experience, some drywall or finish work experience. We're looking for basic electrical experience, not necessarily major stuff. Normally, if it's a major plumbing issue or it is a major electrical issue, we'll bring in somebody with the specialty of the trades. Normally, that's who you have to bring in anyway because they have the correct licensure. Same thing also with HVAC. We've got a few licensed guys that work with us quite a bit. And the HVAC, so the heating system, ventilation system, the heaters are considerably different than what you're going to find in a standard house. And also all the ducting is underneath the home typically. It helps with the heat and basically warming of the home, and also when if it has an AC unit, cooling of the home, because the ductwork is right underneath the floor. It also helps with keeping the plumbing warm so that you don't have to worry about frozen pipes, because all the plumbing is right underneath the home as well. The roof system is considerably different on these. You typically have 2x2 trusses. Also metal roofs, as well as shingled roofs, as well as also a variety of other different types of variations that people have modified things to. And the other thing also from time to time that you're dealing with, obviously, is skirting, releveling of the home, and things like that. And so some of these guys that are your normal average crews or handyman may not have some of those levels or degrees of experience. That's understandable. That's where you start getting some specialty individuals. Skirting should be something that pretty much anybody could learn. It's pretty easy to install it. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. But some of the other stuff like leveling of the home and the roofing, you definitely want to make sure that you've got somebody that understands manufactured homes and has enough experience with them to be able to do those types of repairs. So once you start looking for somebody, you might have some pushback, like I mentioned, based off of the stigma associated with. And the other thing too, and from time to time you're going to find, is that not only is there stigma, but also the quality of work that somebody is going to believe that needs to be done on a manufactured home. Okay, we have a little bit of a different standard than most average people. So we're looking for a higher quality standard, a finish, than what some of the other competitors in the market are looking for. So make sure you're finding the right person. Sometimes you're not going to know that until you get them on the job. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Make it a great day.